Quick disclaimer, this isn't a hate video. There's plenty of those that exist, and YouTube likes to do this thing where you go down a rabbit hole, you watch one video, and it just kind of spirals. I do want to explain why it feels like something's missing and why people are leaving Black Ops 6 Zombies for older titles. You know, every zombie mode has its own flavor, and even the ones that people don't like, for example, Vanguard, it's horror leaning, it's dark, it's gritty. Infinite Warfare is bright, arcade, it's really unserious. And these both are games that I think have elements to like. And Black Ops seems to be missing that spark. I would say that Vanguard and Infinite Warfare are on complete opposite spectrums of how they play and look. However, there is a lot of things to like about both cases. A valid criticism I see is that people just say, oh, just go back and play the older zombies then. If you like them so much, go just play the old ones. I was looking through what zombie game I should buy, and I decided to land on Black Ops 3 for a variety of different reasons. I wish I could, but I couldn't buy World at War, Black Ops 2. So I thought since the Zombie Chronicle came out on Black Ops 3, I thought that would be the best balance. Ironically, Black Ops 6 led me to appreciate Black Ops 3 more, and I'm glad that it did. And I begin to realize that it has good ideas, but kind of fails on a flat execution. I tried the new zombie map that just came out, and I wanted to compare it to an older zombie map. So I decided to compare one of the new maps to Origin, which I have never played before. I think it came out on Black Ops 2, and I just never had the chance. I didn't buy the season pass and all the maps back then. And what I found out was that this new Black Ops 6 map just feels empty, you know? The atmosphere is kind of lacking. The visuals are uninspired. There's nothing really you want to explore or see. I went through every door. I tried to hit the Pack-a-Punch, and there was no real challenge or all. Nothing really made me want to stop and see more and look around. I probably got to Pack-a-Punch in probably, 5-10 minutes. And then later on, this boss Kraus comes out, and he's a big giant mechanized zombie, and he's just super tanky. And after like 10 minutes of fighting, I put his health bar back up just to see how far I was into it. And it was not even halfway yet. So after fighting him, after a whole 2 rounds, I finally end up defeating him. And I'm thinking that it's all done. I was annoyed. But then he has a second phase where he turns into a flying robot. Finally, I beat that version. That was a lot easier, right? After the round ends, he comes back. And then what do I get for defeating this guy? I got a random quest item. It was annoying. It wasn't necessarily hard, but it wasn't worth all the effort that I just put into him. That was just soul crushing because he is just annoying to have on the map. He's always on your tail. You can't really escape him. So as soon as I died, I was just like a big sigh of relief because I was kind of done playing. I like that you can skip the early rounds. Early rounds in older zombies can be very tedious and slow. And in this version, you kind of get just into the action faster. It's a more streamlined experience. I think it's easier for people who are unfamiliar with zombies. It does hold your hand a little bit, but it's nice because it's like, oh, here's your goal. And then after that, you figure out the rest on your own. There's potential here, but it just needs more like seasoning. Jumping into Origins, you get a sense of who these characters are. Immediately, you jump into this cutscene that I'll show now, and you get a sense of who these guys really are. Now, mind you, they had maybe 2 games ahead of them in World at War and Black Ops to really develop themselves. But from this cutscene alone, you really get an understanding of who they are. In Black Ops 6, they kind of seem cool just to be cool. There's no real backstory or growth. There's no emotional tie to these characters. Agents that are just there to be badass, but they're not really memorable. For example, in Black Ops 2, there's Ruckus, right? He's not generally considered cool looking. He's just an old man who sounds like he just woke up. He looks like he just woke up. But when you get to learn about him, he has personality. You want to learn more about how this character got into the zombie apocalypse, why he's surviving over everybody else. We just need something to tie ourselves to. And these characters just don't do it. Now, playing Origins for my very first time, I knew a little bit about it, just like I knew there was giant robots walking around this battlefield, but that's about it. I immediately found out how the generators worked, and if you hopped off, they had to restart. Just by playing the world, you discover these soul boxes, and you interact with the world as it interacts with you, and that's how you kind of learn. As much as I hate to admit it, I died 3 times on slow rounds, and I still wanted to jump back in. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be funny. It doesn't even need the original crew, but it does need this player connection and replayability to it. This world that you want to learn more and more. You know, I feel like you go back to older maps and find things that you never seen before. In Black Ops 6, I really didn't feel that. Once I lost that game, I felt like I was good where I was at. You know, Black Ops 6 isn't a bad game. It's just kind of like room temperature water. It satisfies you for the moment. People say go back to the older games. That's valid, but that doesn't make Black Ops 6 good by default. It still needs more character to it. It needs more challenge. It needs more of a reason to return. Zombies should leave you wanting more, you know, whether that be learning more about the story, trying to beat that one more round than you did last time. You want to spend more time with the crew that you're with. It needs that spark. It needs that like magic to it. It's just missing something. It feels like a big hole is missing and you just don't know what that is. It needs a little more. It's not quite fully cooked yet.